Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So, I need some help. I've got a couple CBs, but that's not what I need the help with. Past couple days, actually, yeah, past couple days, been doing some trading here and there, that sort of thing. Got some CBs, even got a SWR meter that has your modulation wattage and your SWR. Anyway, pretty cool meter, but I'm not sure if the meter is my problem or if I even have a real problem. But I got the two radios here anyways, TRC 415 and TRC 504. And both radios check out to be perfect when I use the dummy load on the SWR meter. They come out and they test out fine, with the exception of the wattage is showing well over 5 watts, which I really don't care, but I already know they're not modified radios. Because the odd time it'll actually show, 4 or 5 watts in that range, but sometimes it screws up and goes overboard. So I'm not too worried about the wattage meter side. Modulation side is working fine. The SWR with the dummy load gives me a 1-to-1 ratio, which, hey, okay, that means to me, if I'm right, that my radios are fine. So when I hook up my antennas, I've got two different antennas. I've got one that's I think it's a Radio Shack one, but anyway, it's big long sucker. You'll see it. We're gonna go outside and I'll show you my ground plane stand I built and the two antennas. The one antenna, the shorter one, is actually a E2 antenna. Picked it up for 15 bucks at Canadian Tire. It's just a short one. It's not very tall, but it's a CB antenna. They both are, and they're magnetic based, which is why I built a ground plane stand. And anyways, I thought maybe it was the problem. Then I thought maybe my power supply, maybe it's the problem. It is antique and it is a home built. But then I'm also running a 3-cell LiPo battery on the other radio, on the 415. I've gone as far as taking one of the CBs and the SWR meter out to the car, just in case it is a ground plane issue, and tried that, and still same problem. So what's the problem? The problem is my SWRs are running in the red zone. Now, yesterday, because it's my second E2 antenna, the first antenna I picked up, the calibration came within just on the red line of the 3 on the SWR reading. And so, of course, I'm no stranger to CBs. I know you're supposed to adjust your antenna, so I made regular adjustments first. And then I thought, I'm not getting anywhere. Things are actually getting worse. And so I looked up all over the internet, everywhere, and I took the basic advice, actually, of my friend who I got this some of this stuff from, and that's to cut off little tiny bits of the antenna at a time and check it, instead of an 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. And so I went really small bits, and within several hours of screwing around with this thing, things ended up getting progressively worse. So of course, the higher your SWR, you got to cut it back, and to bring it down. So it defeated itself in the end result, and so I don't know if it was the antenna that was the problem or the SWR the problem at the time. I'm not sure. Everything going weird on me. So anyways, I got it replaced, got a brand new antenna, haven't screwed with it other than one little sliver that I took off, and I do mean a sliver off the antenna. And still I'm in the red zone. I'm not making any improvements here, but now I'm worse off now than I was before. So I don't know if maybe all the stuff I did yesterday actually took out the SWR meter or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you quickly exactly what's going on so you'll know, and then maybe you've got some good advice for me. But even hooking the CB up into the car with the 12-volt car battery, the car running, not running, still I get the red line. So let me show you what's going on with the radio here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up to, doesn't matter which radio I use for this either. And I even thought, well, maybe the cable. So I've tested cables, I've checked for bad grounds everywhere. I have no grounds, I have no grounding issues, no shorts anywhere. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but so let's go to channel 40. And calibrate, set, modulation calibration. Now, I'm going to keep the mic held in, go to SWR, and I get a 1-to-1 ratio. So that's all good. My wattage is showing just after 5 watts. So, and on the 50 watt range, it shows about just past the half watt range on 50 watts, but shows over 5 there. Okay, so go to channel 1. Calibration, hold it there. Modulation is still the same. SWR, we got 1-to-1. Now, if I'm right, this means at least my radio is good. Everything should be fine with it. So, take the dummy load off. And let's hook up the antenna. So plug the antenna in. Now this is the Canadian Tire antenna. Channel 40. Calibrate. Modulation is all out of whack again. SWRs, still in the red zone. Okay, let's try the other antenna. This will be the one that actually came with the 504, and I've made no alterations to it yet. Alright, channel 40, SWR, it's right on the set. Channel 1, calibrate, SWR, just above. Now, everything I find out on the internet says you got to do this clipping stuff. Well, I clipped through about half of an antenna lead yesterday and still no success. So I figure if I'm not getting success with that, I'm not going to mess with this one. Now, the guy got the 504 off of with its antenna, said that the unit was working fine, and he was only in the vehicle apparently for about a week. There's another part of the story to that, but anyways, here's the deal. I can receive stuff from everywhere. Like, I'm even getting stuff in from the States, all over the place. Reception is beautiful. I've managed to talk to 1 or 2 people, and briefly, and it was fine. They said I was doing good. So to me, I'm thinking radio equipment is fine, my power supply sources are fine, my antenna setup should be fine, my ground plane is obviously fine. Of course, once you guys see this, you might differ on it, but that's fine, whatever. The thing is I can't get the SWRs down, and so, but I'm assuming that the meter is fine if it can do the testing of the equipment itself with the dummy load on. That, if I'm correct, would mean that my meter is actually fine. But why won't it allow me to be able to set up my antenna and at least even get my antenna like 1.5 to 2 even? Like I would be happy with 1.5. I'd be happy with 2. But it's not allowing me to do that. So I don't know if it's my meter that's the problem or not. I know I'm not putting too much voltage through, because I've checked all those possibilities and done my testing. Did a load test with the radio on the back of this power supply. I'm running a 3-cell LiPo on this radio, okay, which is this battery pack here I've wired in. And it's not even thinking of pulling down any power. Now this is a 5,000 milliamp LiPo battery that has up to 35 amps available. So I mean, and I'm still sitting at about 12.3 volts available to me for power through this. So I'll show you here. 12.3 volts total. And this battery, when it tops out at 12.6. And of course I've used this radio, reception, transmitting, fine. But I mean, some of you guys may say, well, don't worry about it. If you're doing good and your radios haven't cooked, you're obviously doing good. If you sound good, you're fine. So I thought, well, let's do some other testing. And so I'll show you what else I've done. That's on 6. Put this radio on 6. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I get that way. Go the other way. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so we definitely know no finals are shot. We're transmitting on both. We're receiving on both. So I'm not sure. If any of you guys that know this stuff, obviously better than what I do, because a lot of you guys eat it, sleep it, breathe it. I really appreciate some input on what could be going wrong. So let's just jump over outside. I'll show you the ground plane setup, and then we'll come back in and finish up. Okay, so this is the ground plane I built. Just out of a side piece off an old snow blower, a bunch of Chinese metal from futon beds and stuff. Welded it all together and made myself a ground plane stand, because these are magnet mount antennas. Now you can see the antenna on the right is actually my shorter, smaller one from Canadian Tire, and then we got this big long sucker here, that was the original one that came with my 504 radio. So I'll shut this off, go back to the house, be right back, and we'll finish this off. Okay, so given the ground plane setup I've got, I'm really not sure if there's a problem with this or not. I've read some people saying, well, if you're going to use a CB antenna for a home base, you need like this really massive set of copper wires coming out and all this other stuff, and you need like a 3x3 platform. And I mean, I've done CBs all my life, and I've never had these kind of problems ever occur before. That's why I'm suspecting maybe there's something wrong with the meter. Now, I did take the meter apart and I tested every circuit in it. I've tested all the wiring. I've tested, looked for shorts, stuff like that, and I can't find anything wrong. I built a new shorter cable for my SWR meter. Made sure I tested it before hooking it up, and there's no shorts or problems with that cable, because I've heard cable length does affect your SWR. So that's why I made a short one, shorter than what I used here, and it made no difference either. So I'm at a total loss here, so anybody that can help me figure this out and straighten it out, I'd really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.